The ratings are in for Saturday's edition of AEW Collision on TNT. The Hardy Boys returned to a WWE ring last night on NXT, and a big TNA World Tag Team Championship match has been confirmed for the upcoming NXT Roadblock event. Moose retains the TNA X Division Championship last night on NXT with his big title match for the NXT title set for Roadblock. A major title versus title match has been confirmed for Roadblock in the women's division. Ricky Saints makes his WWE NXT in-ring debut last night. The mystery faction in NXT continues to cause havoc backstage. Women's United States Champion Chelsea Green appears on the show. Roxanne Perez confronts Jordan Grace. We've got the viewership information for the February 17th episode of WWE Monday Night Raw on Netflix. WWE announces a brand new partnership going into Elimination Chamber, plus the original plans for AJ Styles prior to his injury have been revealed. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with the viewership and ratings information for AEW Collision. Now, with Grand Slam Australia in the rearview mirror and Revolution rapidly approaching on pay-per-view, the February 22nd edition of AEW Collision looked to act as the next step towards another huge strings of shows for All Elite Wrestling. Mariah May vowed to take back her AEW Women's World Championship from timeless Toni Storm. New Japan Pro Wrestling star Gabe Kidd made his AEW appearance, the first one of 2025, and Chris Jericho successfully defended the Ring of Honor World Championship against Bandito. Given the success of Grand Slam Australia in terms of TV ratings, many assumed that the February 22nd episode would see a huge drop, but that wasn't technically the case. According to WrestleNomics, Collision averaged a total of 421,000 viewers on TNT, a 16% drop from AEW's trip to Australia. However, this is 51% above the trailing 4-week average of 278,000 viewers and the most watched episode of Collision in its regular time slot of 2025 so far, with only the December 21st, 2024 episode earning a higher average. It was a similar story in the key 18 to 49 demographic, as Collision ended up posting a 0.12 number. While this is down by 43% from the 0.21 number that Grand Slam Australia earned, it is a 71% increase on the trailing 4-week average of a 0.07 and is also the highest number in the demographic since the aforementioned December 21st, 2024 show. These numbers were enough to see Collision place approximately 5th for the night in all cable telecasts as verified by a Nielsen source. And like every AEW show that has aired in 2025 so far, all of the facts and figures do not include those who stream the show on the Max streaming service. AEW will be looking to continue this momentum when Collision returns to TNT on March 1st as the road to Revolution gets closer. Now, going to last night's edition of WWE NXT on the CW, the Hardys will be returning to WWE NXT Roadblock to defend their TNA World Tag Team Championships against current NXT Tag Team Champions Fraxium. Matt and Jeff Hardy wrestled their first match with WWE since 2020 and 2021 respectively, as they faced Miles Bourne and Tavon Heights during NXT on Tuesday. The NXT Tag Team Champions, Axiom and Nathan Frazer, emerged during the bout to watch from the entrance ramp, drawing the attention of the Hardy Boys and costing them the advantage. When the Hardys had eventually won, Fraxium entered the win to face them. Fraser said that they were the best tag team in the world and were stood opposite the greatest tag team of all time, but Jeff cut him off and called on them to make the challenge, to which they agreed. TNA Director of Authority Santina Morella then emerged to announce that the bout had been made official for Roadblock on March 11th. The Hardys have been TNA World Tag Team Champions since Bound for Glory last October, marking their third reign with the titles and their first run as champions on TV since they were last with WWE, holding the SmackDown Tag Team titles in 2019. Matt Hardy had joined AEW after his departure from WWE in 2020, joined by Jeff Hardy in 2022 for an ill-fated reunion until leaving last year. Now, Moose, of course, he's set for Roadblock as well. TNA wrestling star Moose retained his X Division Championship over NXT Heritage Cup champion Lexis King on NXT on Tuesday, but he was challenged to another match almost immediately. Following Moose's victory, he was confronted by NXT champion Obafemi, who told him general manager Ava had made the match between them official at NXT Roadblock in 2 weeks. It was Moose's first ever WWE match, but it was in King's hometown. The TNA star got King in the corner and hit him with hard chops to start off the match, but King attempted to battle back, hitting Moose with a dive to the outside and going up top, only to be caught by the TNA talent. After Moose sent him flying over the top rope and he crashed back first into the ramp outside, King somehow hit a Hurricane Runner and fell onto Moose for a near fall. He hit a crossbody from the top, but Moose kicked out. King kicked out of a powerbomb and Moose kicked out of a coronation before countering a second coronation from King with a big spear for the victory. Femi's music hit as Moose's hand was raised and he got into the ring with a microphone. He congratulated Moose on his victory but said it was time to focus on their match now, the one that Ava made official. The pair will face off title versus title at Roadblock in Madison Square Garden on March 11th. Now, speaking of title for title, a big women's match is also confirmed for the upcoming NXT show. 10 days removed from her NXT Women's North American Championship victory, Stephanie Vacqua tackled her first title defense against Carmen Petrovic on Tuesday's episode of NXT. Petrovic earned this title opportunity by defeating Kalani Jordan and Jada Parker in a triple threat match last week with some help from her romantic interest Ashanti the Adonis. With a sling blade and a dive to the outside, Petrovic asserted early control over Vacqua as the action intensified. However, Vacqua gained the upper hand, ultimately capturing the victory with a dragon screw leg whip and package backbreaker. Before she could celebrate her first successful title defense, Vacqua was surprised by the arrival of NXT Women's Champion Julia, who challenged Vacqua's claim of being the best. To potentially prove otherwise, Julia then raised interest in facing Vacqua one-on-one in the ring. Now, Vacqua mirrored that interest while adding a title-for-title stipulation to their future match. It was later made official. Indeed, this will also happen at NXT Roadblock. It has been confirmed that it will be Stephanie Vacqua versus Julia, title for title, of course taking place at the theater in Madison Square Garden. Ricky Saints recently joined WWE NXT after being released from his AEW contract, and Ricky Saints, the former Ricky Starks, picked up his first W in his first WWE match. Ricky Saints teamed with Javon Evans to beat the team of Wesley and Ethan Page on the February 25th episode of WWE NXT. In the end, Evans and Page brawled through the crowd, leaving it down to Saints and Lee, and the Rochambeau scored the victory for Ricky in his first WWE match. Starks was previously with AEW. On February 10th, he was removed from the roster page, indicating his departure from the promotion. His last match for the company was on AEW Collision on March 30, 2024, nearly a year ago. In that night, Top Flight, Dante, and Darius Martin defeated Ricky and Big Bill. During the match, he suffered a stinger, but had been off AEW television ever since. Now, more chaos backstage at WWE NXT. The mysterious and still nameless group comprised of Cutler James, Dion Lennox, Saquon Sugars, and Osiris Griffin has struck again. On the February 25th episode of WWE NXT, there was a quick backstage segment that showed No Quarter Catch Crew's Charlie Dempsey, Miles Bourne, and Tavern Heights taken out backstage as Cutler James, Dion Lennox, Saquon Sugars, and Osiris Griffin continued wreaking havoc just beyond where they were attacked. The group, of course, first debuted at NXT Vengeance Day, attacking Nathan Fraser, Axiom, and Obafemi. They followed that up by attacking Robert Stone on February 18th. Along with a lack of a name, the group still hasn't revealed its motive outside of sheer chaos. We saw some main roster crossover last night on NXT as well. WWE Women's United States Champion Chelsea Green and Piper Niven appeared on the February 25th episode of WWE NXT. Green and Niven ran into Sol Ruca and Zarya backstage, agreeing to a tag team match on the March 4th episode of WWE NXT. Green said Sol and Zarya are like Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco, destined for failure and would never stand a chance in the ring against us. Green and Piper previously teamed at NXT Halloween Havoc 2023, defending the WWE Women's Tag Team titles against Chase U. Keeping with NXT last night, we saw a big confrontation on the show. Jordynne Grace addressed the NXT universe on Tuesday, saying she knew where she wanted to be after her WWE Royal Rumble 2024 appearance. Jordynne said she stood in the ring with NXT Women's Champion Julia and NXT Women's North American Champion Stephanie Vacqua, and soon enough she would be standing across from them. Jordynne was interrupted by Roxanne Perez, who said everyone wanted to be on the brand she made famous. Roxanne said she would win the Elimination Chamber and then win the WWE Women's World title at WrestleMania. Roxanne said NXT is still her division and that she would send Jordynne packing back to TNA. Jordan said, "Everyone has a plan until," catching Jordan with a punch to the face. Now, it looks like they could be on a collision course set for the future. Now we have viewership information for the February 17th episode of WWE Monday Night Raw on Netflix. With Raw's premiere on Netflix now nearly 2 months into the past, viewership has largely steadied out for the Red brand in its new home. While some have questioned the methods of Netflix, how they tally up the viewership, the numbers have largely been consistent ever since January 27th, with Raw pulling in between 2.8 to 3.1 million global viewers across the week. That was no different for the week of February 17th. WrestleNomics reports that last week's episode of Raw drew 2.8 million global views over 7 days. As noted, this is an identical number to February 10th, perhaps signaling that Raw has reached its core level of views going forward. In terms of Netflix's top 10 rankings, Raw was 10th globally and 5th in the United States. Globally, Raw fell 2 spots, having placed 8th the prior week. The second straight week, Raw had dropped spots in that category, while they held firm in their US rankings. Last week's Raw continued the Red brand's trek towards the Elimination Chamber PLE, with Roxanne Perez defeating Raquel Rodriguez to qualify for the Women's Chamber match. Perez didn't pick up the win alone, getting some unexpected help from then Women's Tag Team Champions Bianca Belair and Naomi, who arrived on Raw to confront Rodriguez and Liv Morgan after footage aired suggesting the duo were responsible for injuring Belair and Naomi's friend Jade Cargill. The show also featured a number 1 contenders match for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship, with Dakota Kai facing off against Ivy Nile. Kai overcame the American-made member to score the victory and set up a match with champion Lyra Valkyria the following week. Now, a big announcement by WWE when it comes to sponsorships, with the site of Elimination Chamber might be quite cold this time of year. Its newest partner promises to warm things up. On Tuesday, WWE confirmed a partnership with Nissin Foods, a Japanese food company, that will involve sponsorships and integrations on WWE programming. More imminently, Hot and Spicy Fire Wok, Nissin Foods' hottest ramen brand, will serve as the presenting partner of Elimination Chamber, which emanates from the Rogers Centre in Toronto, Ontario, Canada on March 1st. In addition, the ramen brand will sponsor the Men's Elimination Chamber match, which will set the stage for an undisputed WWE Championship bout at WrestleMania 41. Competitors in the 2025 match iteration are Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Damian Priest, Seth Rollins, and John Cena, who will mark his final appearance in the cage structure. Quote, "Nissin Foods is home to a variety of classic brands, and we are excited for Hot and Spicy Fire Wok to present Elimination Chamber to a worldwide audience," said Grant Norris-Jones, Executive Vice President and Head of Global Partnerships for TKO Group Holdings. Through its partnership with WWE, Hot and Spicy Fire Wok will also sponsor a match at WrestleMania 41, which takes place in the city of Las Vegas, and episodes of WWE Playback. Integrations within WWE Raw, WWE SmackDown, Up, Up, Down, Down, and WWE social media platforms are also expected. Quote, "WWE fans crave intensity and excitement, and we're bringing that same fiery thrill to their taste buds with Hot and Spicy Fire Wok," added Priscilla Santon, Senior Vice President of Marketing, Nissin Foods USA. Whether you're a fan of WWE or someone who craves bold flavors, our Hot and Spicy Fire Wok line delivers an unmatched spiced experience that will pair perfectly with Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania 41. And finally, a bit of an update here when it comes to original plans for AJ Styles. As WrestleMania 41 rapidly approaches, a number of top WWE superstars already have their respective paths to Las Vegas already mapped out. However, the same can't be said for AJ Styles, as there have been multiple reports on what he might be doing. From a singles match with Finn Balor to a WWE Intercontinental Championship match against Bron Breakker. The reason for this could lie in the fact that WWE had to scrap their original plan for Styles when he suffered a serious injury back in October. And on a recent edition of Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer revealed what the original plan was. Quote, "The original idea for AJ before he got hurt was that he would be doing kind of a farewell. With a farewell, it's kind of hard to go and be a heel for your farewell, but they haven't pushed the farewell this time, just like they did last time. They haven't really pushed it. It was originally reported that the injury Styles suffered during a SmackDown match with Carmelo Hayes was part of a storyline, but due to the injury being very real, Styles had to step away from the ring until the 2025 Royal Rumble when he made his return." Now, Styles has been open about potentially retiring, stating in 2024 that while he feels healthy, he doesn't want to get to the point where he feels like he needs to get out of the business and would rather leave on his own terms to spend more time with his family. Not being retired was also the reason Styles turned down the chance to be inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame in 2024, as he doesn't want to be inducted whilst he's still active. But there you go, guys. The latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.